Good morning, welcome back to another weekly vlog, another vlogmas. I know that the girlies were like, do it daily. Guys, I can't do daily. I'm already like, I've woken up this morning, it's 10 past 10. I'm just, I'm feeling very overwhelmed, but in the words of that, let's spend a productive week together. This week I'm getting back on track. I started this vlog yesterday on Monday, but I literally filmed a clip like this and then didn't film anything else, and it feels pointless to include that. So yesterday I went to the gym, I hit legs, I had a really good session, and then I spent the afternoon working, and then I went round to my boyfriend's house. I do have a new boyfriend. Maybe shall I do a life updates in this video? I literally said in my last life updates video, if I do another life updates video before the end of the year, someone shoot me in the head. Someone literally, like, what on earth, like, oh my god. I'll do like a little chat about it in this vlog, because I don't want you guys to feel left out, but I also don't want to make a big hoo-ha of it. I think I want to keep things a little bit more, not like super private, but like a little more under wraps this go around. I will explain and elaborate in this vlog, so I guess that's something to look forward to. But yeah, let's spend a productive week together. I'm about to go to the gym. Alpha Elite's 12 days starts today. I can say that now because this video is going up on Sunday, so you'll already know what's going on. We're doing like daily giveaways. Some days have new products, some days it's like 25% off site-wide. Bog off Amplify. Those deals will have, I think, already happened by the time this vlog goes up, maybe not. I'm kind of like struggling to decide what to do because I don't want to bombard people with it on Instagram, and I've just done like 11-12 days straight of Black Friday content, so I kind of want to, don't know, I'm not sure it's the best timing for it to be back to back to back, you know. But I'm about to go to the gym. We're going to do sprints, I'm going to do a little bit of pull, I'm going to try and film it depending on how much my camera charges on the way to the gym, because I'm on 37% currently. But yeah, this week is all about a productive week, getting fully back on track this week. Obviously I trained twice last week. I want to hit the gym every day this week. Honestly, today I don't really technically have time to go to the gym, but I'm making the time, even if it means I'm working later tonight, because I'm just not giving up on myself this year. Like, I'm not putting work and everything else above what needs doing this year, so we're not doing that. I'm snapping myself out of the funk that I got in last week ASAP, and we're heading to the gym. So yeah, I will see you guys at the gym. Okay, so this was the cardio that I did on this day at the gym. I decided to do some sprint intervals, so here I'm just walking and then doing some jogs before I'm like working my way up to my sprinting speed. I like to do this just to make sure that my legs aren't absolutely fried. I also do some like dynamic stretching before, and then I started getting too warm, so before I went into my actual like full-blown sprints, just making sure that I'm in the appropriate attire because my joggers get a little bit too hot. So here I'm just working my way up with my speed. I do like 17 or 18 for my sprints, and I'll either walk in between or I will hop onto the sides of the belt. Then Izzy came and we actually ended up yapping for 20 minutes. So she's saying bye to the vlog. So I did a 20-minute walk and 20 minutes of interval sprints, and usually I do time these quite strictly, but because I've not actually done them in a while, I just decided to sprint for as long as I could, rest for as long as I felt like I needed to, then go again. And I did however many that took me to get to 20 minutes in total. I wasn't as strict with it, but usually I will have like set times, so like 45 seconds on, a minute off, or like 30 seconds on if I'm wanting to go a lot faster, like a minute and a half off. It just depends. But this day I literally just set it to the sprint speed, sprinted for as long as I could, rested for as long as I felt like I needed to, until I hit 20 minutes, because I've not done sprinting in a while. But yeah, that was my cardio session. It has now been a significant chunk of time since I set off for the gym. I've just got back home and it's 25 to 4. I left the house at 10 past 10. I was gonna come back home after the gym, but I ended up, I don't know if, well, you guys will have seen, I was meant to do sprints and back, but then I ended up talking to Izzy for like 20 minutes. So I ended up walking for 20 minutes, doing sprint intervals for 20 minutes, and then I was like, shit, like there's no time for me to train back. There's also no time for me to go home and come back this sort of direction to go get my nails done with Harriet. So I actually ended up just going for lunch. I went to Honey Poke, like pokeball place in Leeds, and got my lunch, and I did some work on my phone just because I really did need to, like, guys, I I'm up to my eyeballs in work. And when I booked like my hair and my nails, like my Christmas appointments this week, I was like, oh, that's like perfect. Like it's just after Black Friday. Like there's no way that so soon after Black Friday and I can possibly have any like Alphalete stuff to do. Wrong. Bitch, you were fucking wrong. So I'm like, oh. And to be honest, I'm so lucky that I can go and get my nails done in the middle of the day. I'm so lucky, like tomorrow I'm getting my hair done at 9 AM. I'm lucky that I can have these appointment times. First of all, they're easier to get. Second of all, most people can't go and do that on a weekday and they have to spend their weekends and take their weekends up doing that stuff. But during a week where I'm going away next week because I booked that, again thinking, oh well, it's so soon after Black Friday, there's no way that there would be any Alphalete stuff, and there is Alphalete stuff, so now I have to pre-film stuff as well as filming the stuff that I'm meant to be doing this week, and I still don't have my advent package. And realistically, I shouldn't have got my nails done, but if I didn't get them done, it would be until January. Fickle. First of all, I wanted my nails done, you know, I'm a girl, it's Christmas. But second of all, from a content point of view, I can't be walking around with like a busted nail when I'm trying to show you guys like Alphalete products. Like they won't want to use any of the content I make if I've got rank nails, and obviously I couldn't have foreseen that I would break this nail. Which brings me on to, Harriet is a genius, guys. You'll have seen my broken nail, right? This is the broken nail. She hasn't put a tip on it. She wraps this thing around my finger and she sculpts it with gel. And like you can tell if I go like this, you can tell that this one's gel because these are all my real nails. I just get Builder gel. You can tell that this tip is gel because it's not as like white underneath. You can see it's clear, so you can see the red nail paint more through it. But I honestly just think she's like an actual genius. I don't understand how she does it. Like I watch her do it and I think there's no way that's going to work. You're going to take that thing that you've wrapped around my finger off and it's not going to stay on. It's just going to fall off and then it just stays on. I don't understand, but I'm very grateful. Very, very, very grateful that I can go and get my nails done in the middle of the day. However, it now means I have a lot to do. I have to do this Alphalete post at 6. I'm about to go inside the house and discover whether my advent calendar has arrived yet or not. I need to like prep all the stuff for the items that are launching today, but even then, it sounds really backwards, but I don't want to be too helpful or like excited about the products for the Tenacity drop that's coming today, or to be honest, any of the drops, because on the 12th, the whole website's going to be 25% off. So I don't want anyone to buy anything full price this week before the discount day. Like everyone may as well just wait. So I'm like, I really don't want to push it at all. Which is not what my job is, but it just, to me, it just feels wrong. Like I don't know. Finish my client check-ins for the day. That's my priority, to be honest, because I want to make sure we're getting close to Christmas. Everyone's got like social parties and stuff. I want to make sure that my clients are properly looked after. That's like the most important thing for me. So yeah, let's go and see if my advent calendar has arrived. But these are my nails. The colour that I get, this colour, because I got the same last time, I just did the same again, it's Arabian Nights, and it's like the perfect dark wine red. It's not too brown, it's not purple, it's definitely like a dark red, and it's the best shade. Harriet is the best. If you need a nail girl and you want Builder gel in particular, and you like simple stuff, she doesn't do like crazy stuff. She does a little bit of chrome stuff, but mainly like Frenchies, plain, like tiny designs. She doesn't do crazy stuff anymore because she doesn't enjoy doing it. She is your girl. She's based in like Rodley, so yeah, highly recommend. I'll pop her Instagram here so you can go and check her out. But yeah, these are my nails. Good evening, guys. I'm just doing some coaching work. I'm just doing some check-ins, but I always get asked about the software that I use, and I still use True Coach. And they've done quite a lot of updates recently, so there's now a habit tracker that's built in. I used to do Google Sheets for clients, but honestly it's so much easier having everything in one place. This is not an ad, by the way. I fully pay to use True Coach for my clients. So yeah, so you can see that obviously I literally updated this client's calories this week. So she's got calories, a macro split. Carbs and fats are very like interchangeable for me. We don't go super specific. I'm not a bodybuilding coach. And then on here, so that was her goals, and then this is where she tracks. So you track here, and then it pulls an average at the bottom, so it tells you what your average is for your calories, your macros, weight, sleep, steps, energy, hunger, stress. And then clients can also add any notes. So if like they've been poorly that week, they can put notes in here. And yeah, I use this, progress pictures, metrics, like weight measurements, and then some like written verbal feedback as well. Yeah, it's very dark in this room, but that's how check-ins work for my coaching clients, so I just thought I would explain that a little bit. I'll leave the vlog linked below. I did speak about coaching recently in a recent vlog, and I explained how I got into it and how I like do it and stuff, but I thought I'd just give you that little update. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with my client check-ins. My advent package hasn't come, so I don't have that to do today because I don't have my package. So I'm just going to crack on with some coaching work. I did a food shop and I've just eaten I'm not eating my food shop, but because I'm a little bit on the busy side with coaching work, I got a ready meal, which I don't really like. I don't like that many ready meals, and if I get a ready meal, it has to be usually something to do with like beef or chili, because I cannot do chicken ready meals. It tastes so chickeny in like a weird way. But the Morrison's, it's like one of the Nourish meals, the shredded beef chili one, so nice. It's got like sweet corn, beans, rice, quinoa, tomatoes, and then like shredded beef in like a chili sauce. It's like chili con carne, but instead of it being minced, it's like shredded beef, and it's really nice, and it's so quick and easy. And I think it's got like 3 of your 5 a day in, but a smarter choice convenience meal, so I'm happy with my choice. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on with client check-ins and I will see you soon. Guys, it's dark outside, so I don't even know if this clip is gonna be all that clear, but it's Wednesday morning, it's 7:47 and oh my god, chill, and I'm setting off to go and get my hair done. So yeah, this is my week of Christmas. We're having a productive week, we're having a week of Christmas appointments. I did wake up this morning not feeling the best, so I don't know if I'm just tired or I'm coming down with something. If I feel better after I've had my hair done, I've got all my gym stuff, I've packed my bag, I've got a gym outfit, and I'm gonna go to the gym. If I don't feel any better and I feel like, no, actually I just need to take it easy, then I'm gonna take it easy, because as much as this vlog is about getting back on track, and like I said, I wanted to get all my workouts in this week, it's not worth it if I'm just gonna make myself feel like absolute shit. Like, the point of me getting myself to the gym is to make me feel better. If I'm going to the gym when I feel like shit because I feel like I need to, because I've made this commitment to myself, but it ends up making me poorlier or making me feel 10 times worse, that's not productive at all, and I will always stand by that. So yeah, I'm kind of grateful that I have my hair first, so then I can see, am I tired or am I actually feeling a bit like under the weather. My advent calendar never turned up yesterday, so I still don't have that, but I do have my Harrods advent calendar that my mum got me, which is amazing, like the coolest shit ever. I love it, so I'll open that with you guys when I get back, or like I'll show you what I've got in there so far, because I've been opening on TikTok, so I'll probably open on TikTok and then I'll show you what I've had the past 4 days. But yeah, let's go get my hair done. I'm going with the same thing again. I'm just gonna trim the ends, retrim my layers, same colour again. I go for like a mocha brown sort of shade. So yeah, I literally only live 20 minutes away, but with the traffic at this time on the morning, it gets really bad. Plus, I'm gonna take myself for a Costa on the way. Okay, we're looking a lot fresher. My hair is done. We decided to do my bang bits a little bit shorter, so you can't tell when it's like brushed into the rest of my hair, but they're quite a bit shorter. They're like just below cheekbone level, but when they're like properly styled, it just looks a lot better, because I felt like before these bits was like down here and they were getting quite long, and it honestly looked like I had a bob if I hadn't styled them properly. But I've got a feeling this is going to do my head in whilst my hair is so like silky soft from being washed. So I'm not going to go to the gym because I'm so sniffly right now, and I just don't think it's a good idea. It's also quite selfish to go to the gym when you feel like shit. I'm hoping it's just like a one-day thing, and maybe I was just a bit run down yesterday, but I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do work today. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put all the Alpha Elite notes in a PDF, because basically with this 12 days thing, like I booked, I don't know if I explained yesterday, but I booked holiday, like a little mini break, like a city break, like a Christmas one, and obviously like it's Christmas month, like I have a lot of plans, so I don't have time to do like a mini review every day and do a big YouTube review. And that also feels redundant, because I've basically already reviewed them then, so then the YouTube video feels a bit redundant. I'm doing what I can. Also, like I mentioned in last week's vlog, my socials girl for my coaching page has left, so I'm now in charge of that, and I really need to start sorting that out because otherwise there's not going to be any posts on there until after Christmas. So I've got that to contend with, but today I want to just put all my notes on all the pieces that are coming up, whether it's already dropped yesterday, the tenacity, or the new stuff that's coming today. I want to put it in like a PDF with like a mini review of every product so that I've still got something that I can put out for people, because like the seamless stuff that's dropping, for example, that's Monday, so I'm not even going to be here. I'll be away, and I'm not taking my laptop with me when I go away. Like, I just want to, it's literally Sunday, Monday, and I'm back on Tuesday morning, so I just want to enjoy that break and take a little bit of a break. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that's the plan for today. My Costa was really weird this morning, like it just tasted funny, but I got the gingerbread latte, which I've been liking, but it tasted really weird today. I don't know if they use like a different syrup or what, but I don't know. But yeah, this is my new hair, and with the dye, it looks a bit weird in this lighting. It looks a little bit yellow, but we go quite neutral with it. It's like a mocha ash, I think that's what we call it, and then we just layer the rest of it up. But yeah, I am ghostly pale right now. I honestly feel like shit. But the work that I'm doing today, I'm very, very, very lucky, and I'm very, very, very blessed because I can literally just sit. Oh my god, my hair's doing my head in. I fear I may regret doing these shorter. I can literally just sit and do my work, and it's really not like an issue or a problem. I can just sit. I can be in comfy clothes. I don't need to put makeup on. I have like the easiest job in the world in most respects. So yeah, I just feel like the reason why I struggle with it sometimes is it's such an easy job. I just make it way harder than it needs to be. I make it harder for myself, and I do know why, because that's how my brain works. I find it hard to not do things that way because it then feels like I've not done it properly if I don't do it the way I usually do it, if that makes sense. I'm just like really struggling, like my brain's not functioning how it usually does, and it's weird. I think I've got, it sounds so dramatic, but I think I've got some kind of like mental fatigue or like exhaustion, but I don't think it's from just work. I feel like it's an accumulation of things, and always at the end of the year I feel like I get a bit down in the dumps anyway, because Christmas time I love, but I also find it a bit of a weird time. It's a big reminder of like people that aren't here anymore. It's also time for reflection on the year, and like I've had a really good end to this year. Like I'm having a really good end to the year, but the start of it was not good. Mental fatigue, like someone could say to me, "Are you okay right now?" and I would probably burst into tears. Like I was crying last night. Like I don't know. It was literally my boyfriend that said it to me. He was like, "Do you think you're just like a bit like mentally drained, like mentally exhausted?" I was like, I've never even really thought about that. And then I googled mental exhaustion and I looked up the symptoms and I just started crying. I was like, that I'm literally ticking like 90% of boxes. Like I'm irritable, sleep, like I keep oversleeping, struggling with my mood, anxiety, not being able to focus on things properly, feeling really like overwhelmed, and just like my emotions feel like they're up here. Usually I'm quite like level-headed with things, but my emotions feel very, very, very high at the moment. Weird. So yeah, anyway, let's go home because I'm hungry and I want some chicken and sweet potato. Guys, I actually feel like presentable today. I've sort of sorted my bangs out. Oh, bloody hell. Yesterday I was just doing my alpha leap work that I said I was going to do, and then I actually went and babysat. I'm saying babysat, she's literally 11. Went with my sister to look after my niece just for a couple of hours, which was nice. And obviously like I'm not going to put my niece in my vlogs because first of all, she's literally a child. In my opinion, I don't think she should be watching my YouTube videos, and I feel like if she was in it, she'd want to watch it. So, but yeah, this is my new hair, and this morning, now that I've actually like styled my hair, I'm loving the bangs. Yesterday, they were pissing me off. I did not have my fringe down for the rest of yesterday, but obviously my bangs are a lot thicker. Like, my bangs are wider than just this bit, but I've managed to get the rest of it back in a ponytail. And then I've just left these bits out, but literally every 5 minutes, I'm like this. Constantly touch them, because when you're constantly touching your hair, it's just going to get greasier, and I don't want to start having to wash my hair more than I already do. I already wash it like 2-3 times a week. Yeah, I'm trying not to touch it too much, but this morning I basically just air wrapped it just to give it a bit more of a, yeah, to basically make it a bit more you know. So that's what I did with my fringe this morning. I actually really like it. So about to go to the gym. My advent calendar package is finally coming today. Lo and behold, she's finally arriving today. I'm very excited to have it. My Alpha Elite one, that is. So yeah, today we're gonna go and train legs. I'm actually training with Twinkle Toes. If you're not familiar with Twinkle Toes is my boyfriend. I'm not calling him Twinkle Toes to try and like pull a Sophia and Chintzia Brian situation. I still need to give you guys a bit of a life update, which I will do at some point today, or I'll do it in this vlog. I promise. Like, some people don't give a shit, and why should you? I'm not Beyonce, but some people have had questions, and I feel like every time I'm posting something about not being single or having a boyfriend, I'm getting a lot of messages being like, oh my god, like, did I miss a chapter? So I feel like I'd rather just, this can be the chapter and then we can just leave it, because I don't really want to, like, even with my last relationship, it wasn't a big part of my content. I didn't post about it a lot. It wasn't like a core piece. We didn't do like couples content, and I don't really want to do that this time. So yeah, having said that, I am actually training with Twinkle Toes, so he might be in these clips a little bit. He's gonna hit glutes with me, which he's never actually done before, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do a pull day with him, so I'll try and film that tomorrow as well. Yeah, I started calling him Twinkle Toes because I took a picture of him when we went on a run the other week, which I did put in a vlog. I don't know if anyone clocked, but it was in the vlog, a little picture, and he looked like he was levitating, and I just put it zoomed in on my Instagram story asking about something else, and then I just put Twinkle Toes next to his legs, and now Twinkle Toes just lives on. But yeah, like, it doesn't need to be like a key part of my content. I obviously will keep you guys in the loop with my life like I have. I feel like this year more than ever I've probably kept you in the loop more because I've had so many bloody life changes. Fuck me. I feel like I've lived 5 lives in 1 year this year. I've never been like a relationship content kind of person, and I'm not gonna start now. Like, my relationship is just very special to me, if that makes sense. And not that people that post their partners, it's not special, but I really just want to keep it like precious. It's very precious to me. I'm very, 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 very happy. I'll update you guys properly later. But yeah, I just got in my car. I've got my Blank Street Mel Maybe Do It pre-workout. Well, I mean, it's not a Mel Maybe Do It pre-workout. It's the P Science sour peach rings, I think it is. Is it sour peach rings? I can't remember. Sour peach rings. I think that's what it is. Pre-workout. So I'm going to drink this. I'm going to go train glutes with Twinkle Toes, and then I think we're going to go get a coffee from somewhere afterwards. Vlog rolling, my dudes. Also, Alpha Elite posted the Harry Potter thing. That's what I was doing when I was there in Houston. They're doing like a 12 days thing, and every day is a different film, and I was made to do the Harry Potter one, which makes sense because like I was the only British person there other than Freya, and they had me do like this like mime Ron Weasley. I'm actually going to put it in here because it's quite funny, so I'll put it in here, and then we'll go train legs with Twinkle Toes.
What is it? Some kind of cloak? Well, let's see then. Put it on. Whoa! My body's gone! I know what that is! That's an invisibility cloak!
Okay, so this was the glute session that I decided to put him through. So we started off with some hip thrusts. This was actually one of my later sets. I think this was my last set. So we worked our way up to 20, 40, 60, 140 kilos. Form tips are always the same as usual, making sure that the barbell is over where your glutes are going to be contracting, not like rolled onto your thigh and not too high up either. Making sure you're fully locking out at the top. If you're not fully locking out at the top, you're not going to be getting the most out of this movement. So making sure that you're coming all the way up, not stopping shy, not rushing through the reps, and lifting with control. I think that's something that people often forget to do when it comes to adding more weight. They just sort of like hurry through the reps, but progressive overload comes from maintaining a good level of form. I'm not saying like you can't let it slip and then perfect it. You absolutely can. You absolutely can do that. It's not the end of the world, but making sure that you are actually lifting well as you go up in weight, because if you are sacrificing form to that extent, to the point where you're not actually contracting your muscles properly, that will impact your progress over time. Making sure that you're still lifting with good form and intention as you go up in weight is very important. We then moved on to some RDLs. So this was a slightly lighter weight. And then I went up to a heavier weight afterwards, but this was still a working set. It wasn't a warm-up set. Ideally, I do actually like to do my heaviest sets first now. I don't tend to warm up to them with working sets. But this was my heaviest set, and I was doing 60, 70, 80 kilos for my RDLs here, which I think at some point last year I was doing 90, but I have just lost a little bit of strength this year just from not being as like focused on my training, in the sense of, you guys know I've not been following a program, I've just been going in and doing what I want, and so I've not been really focusing on progressive overload, I've not been hitting the same sessions every week, and that will impact your strength, especially on like specific movements. It can impact it if you're not doing it week in, week out, but I'm still much happier with my training now that I am just a bit more relaxed with it, and I'm still enjoying my training and not following a program. So yeah, that was my RDLs, and then I wanted to do a single leg movement, and I was choosing between step ups or Bulgarians, and I decided to go with Bulgarians, honestly from like a you guys point of view, because I knew I wanted to film it, and I feel like I've filmed step ups to death in recent videos, so I decided to do Bulgarians. So setup wise for these, everyone does them slightly differently. Some people use a much lower box to try and hit more glutes. I personally just like to use a bench. First of all, it's so much easier. Second of all, I like hitting both my quads and my glutes when I do my Bulgarians. So as you can see, I'm maintaining a kind of upright posture. I'm not like leaning and like folding over on myself, but I'm also not pushing my knee on my right leg here, the leg that I'm working. I'm not pushing it too far over my toes. It's coming forward a little bit, but I'm sort of, I would say my form on these is quite neutrally split between quads and glutes. It's not super quad biased, and it's also not super glute biased. It's both. And again, training intensity is key when it comes to wanting to grow, when it comes to building muscle, and I think it's something that is often overlooked, or people overestimate how hard they actually train. Like if you watch my reps, like they really do slow down throughout my set, and if your reps are looking pretty consistent through your sets, you're probably not actually training hard enough, and you could probably do with going a little bit harder. So yeah, training intensity is super important, and rinsing and repeating the basics. I know I've just said that I don't follow a program, because I don't follow a program at the moment, but if your main goal is growth, you do not need to be trying the new fanciest movement every single week. You don't need to be switching up your program every single week. I promise you, if you are not seeing results, it is less likely to be to do with what you're doing. If you're doing the basic movements, it's much more likely to be an issue of intensity, constantly switching things up, never allowing yourself time to progress, and training intensity is a huge one as well. A lot of people just simply don't train hard enough, especially once you've got those newbie gains in the beginning. It becomes harder and harder and harder to build muscle over time. Training intensity becomes more important, and if you've hit a brick wall with it, I would highly recommend checking how hard you are training. You can film your sets, you can see how your reps slow down. So yeah, we finished off the session with some glute medius kickbacks, which is just what I'm doing here. And again, an example of good training intensity. I actually gave up on my set because he said something and it just made me laugh. And then I started laughing and I couldn't carry on, and he was like, no, you've got 3 more. So he made me go again. So I started again and I did my final 3, and he was actually spot on. I didn't quite get full 3, but I had like 2 and a bit in me. Like I didn't fully get my leg back there, but he was right. I had more in me. So yeah, that was the glute session. Okay, so I'm inserting this little vlog clip actually like in the wrong order, but I had a shit ton of stuff to do yesterday, so I don't think I actually filmed anything after my workout. And then I went and trained pull today. I did my boyfriend session, so I'm going to put those clips in a bit, but I feel like I've said like 1,000,001 times in this video, I'm going to give you a life updates, and then I just keep not giving you a life updates. First life update is I've just made this creation. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I did Alpro plain yogurt. I put some chopped up apple. I was going to do it in a pan, but my mum was using the stove and I didn't want to get in the way. Chopped up that apple, put it with some sugar and cinnamon on it in the microwave, put it in with the yogurt, and then put some cinnamon on top, and it's like the perfect, like a fall version of a yogurt bowl, and it's really nice, like really yummy, and the apples are like perfectly like cinnamony sweet. It's giving like a liquid version of an apple crumble. However, I realise I keep saying I'm going to give life updates and then I keep not doing it. So, life updates. Because I feel like, not that I owe people it, but obviously like I was saying the other day in this vlog, I have shared quite a lot, and I'll only ever share what I'm comfortable sharing, so I don't want anyone to watch this and feel like uncomfortable and feel like I felt like I had to say something. But if anything, I feel like it can help people. But yeah, obviously I wasn't single for that long. When I came out of my previous relationship, and it's so nice because in me sharing about my new one and being a little bit open about it on Instagram, so many people messaging me being like, oh my god, like this is giving me hope, like I went through a breakup at a similar time to you. And like, it's not that being in a relationship is a be all end all, but some people want that thing in life, some people want companionship, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think we should be bashing people for wanting to find like a life partner. Like, I think that's such a beautiful thing personally, and I don't think you should revolve your entire life around it, and I don't think it's a be all end all. I think some people are totally happy on their own, but for me, out of life, like love, it sounds so cringe, but like partnership, that is something that's really important to me, and it's something that I want. But I've come to realise, like, I've grown up a lot this year, and I only want it if it's right, and if I'm happy, that's the only way in which I want it. So I wasn't single for that long, and honestly, when I broke up with my previous partner, I was like, I don't want a relationship for like 2 years. I didn't even want to go on a date. Like, I wasn't interested in anyone or anything in that regard. Like, I was just ready to have me time, focus on me. It always happens. I know that people say it happens when you least expect it. I don't think that's true. I think sometimes nothing happens when you least expect it. I also think sometimes things happen when you most expect them. But for me, it was a case of it really did happen when I least expected it. And questions about this on Instagram, which I honestly find a little bit rude. There was no overlap. I was single for like a few months, and then he used to work at my gym and then wasn't working at my gym anymore, and then followed me on Instagram, and it all sort of like started from there. And yeah, now I have a new boyfriend, and I feel like it's something that is very, I just want to speak like openly and honestly, it's something that's very controversial to move on so quick, but I think it's very important to note that no one knows what people's relationships are like. And for me in particular, my relationship, this one, my previous one, was never be a core part of my content. Didn't do couples content, won't be doing couples content. It's not a core part of what I'm posting online, so I don't even feel like I've portrayed something perfect, especially in like the last 2 years. I would say I've portrayed pretty much nothing. I didn't post much about it. Yeah, I really don't want to focus on that too much in this video because I've moved on now. I'm very happy, like very happy, and it's what I was least expecting. But I feel like there's a stigma around moving on quicker, but like I said, people don't know what happens in relationships. You don't know the ins and outs, you don't know what's gone on, you don't know how people have been treated, you've got no idea what's gone on. And it's not that uncommon. I think it's more common for women than it is men for you to address issues constantly, bring things up constantly, and then nothing really changes. And so it sounds awful, but like mentally you can end up checking out of something before it's done, and usually it's like there's a straw that breaks a camel's back, and so it might look like someone's moved on quick, but realistically it's been like a slow, like death by a thousand tiny cuts, I think is the way that they phrase it. Like, you just don't know. And also, like, some people just do have the ability to move on quickly. I wouldn't put myself in that category. Usually it takes me a long time to get over things. I've never ended a relationship before my previous one. That's the only one I've ever ended. I've always been dumped. I've never been the dumper, if that makes sense, which isn't, it's honestly an awful feeling. I think I would rather be dumped in hindsight. I think that's a yeah, but you know, it is what it is. Like, assumption that if someone moves on quick, they're just like, they're not really dealing with things, they've not healed, they're not healed enough, they shouldn't have moved on, they shouldn't have done this, they shouldn't have done that. And I get it, because I feel like it's a self-preservation thing. I've said it before, when like someone's dumped me and then they've moved on to someone new within the next like few months, and then I've been like, oh well, like they're obviously like still bothered and they just like need to get under someone to get over me and all that sort of. It's a self-preservation thing, and as harsh as it sounds, it's not always true. Now, for some people, is it true? Absolutely. They just hop from one person to the next. But this is something I've never really had two things so close together before, but this just felt right, and I was resisting it at first, guys. I was literally like, because he was being so nice, to the point where I was like, are you taking the piss? Like, are you actually taking the piss? I kept making jokes. I was like, I know that you love bombing me, like I'm onto you, so like don't even bother. But it wasn't even love bombing, he was just being nice. Like, nothing was too intense, he was literally just being a nice person. But because I'm so not used to it, I was like, there's something wrong here. Like, what's wrong with, like, why are you being so nice? Like, I don't get it, but I've come to realise that's a me thing. Like that's not a good thing. That's trauma, babes. I'm not used to like the start of a relationship being so smooth. Like usually at this point, like this X amount of time in, we've had loads of huge arguments. It's been very toxic and it's been very like back and forth and like wanting them to like, and this just hasn't had any of that at all. It's been so smooth. He is the nicest, kindest, sweetest. I don't want to say nice actually, because I don't think nice is very genuine. He's the kindest, sweetest, most like well-intentioned man I've ever met in terms of men. Like it's still very early days and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to jinx anything, but honestly he is one of the nicest people I've ever met. I've never been treated with such care and consideration and kindness. Like he is just the best and I'm very happy. And at first, like I said, I was trying to like push it off and trying to be like no, like why are you being so nice? It's suspicious that you're being so nice. Why are you like this? Like this can't be you. Like this has to be an act. But it's been like a good amount of time now and nothing has changed or slipped. Like if anything, things have only got better. We've got our first trip this weekend. We're going to Vienna literally just for like 2 days, so we're not there for long, but our first little trip. We've got our first Christmas together and I'm just very happy. And I've never felt so not anxious about a relationship before, which is so new to me. And I don't want to cry. We're not going to cry because I cried in my Houston vlog and it was really embarrassing, but I've never had something that just makes me, obviously I have anxiety and I will always have concerns or like periods where I'm feeling really but I have never experienced like such a calming relationship between me and another person before. Like I don't know how to explain it. It just feels so calm to the point where I was like, this is so suspicious. Like so suspicious. He's so supportive. Like just honestly, like and again, was the timing of it like perfect? No, but if there's anything that I've learned this year, it's that life can be incredibly short. Don't know if I did speak about it on YouTube. I might have like mentioned it briefly, but earlier this year I had someone die who was pretty much the same age as me and we used to be really quite close, and it honestly knocked me for 6, but it has led me to a lot of different decisions this year. As you can tell, I feel like I've lived 5 lives in the space of a year. It just knocked me for 6 and made me realise like I've been living my life as though I'm assuming I'm promised. Even like tomorrow, I'm not promised, but I'm just assuming that I've got like, you know, I'm 25, so like I've, you know, something might happen to me in my 50s, but like I've at least got another 30 years. No, you don't. Like none of that's promised, none of that's guaranteed. And so I want to live a happy life. I want to live, it's like hippie as it sounds, like a life that feels authentic. And I felt like for the longest time I couldn't be truly authentic in life, even with like my family and even online, because I couldn't be, and again I'm talking in circles here, but I'm just not going to go into it. I couldn't be open and honest, and I feel like that's what's so difficult about sharing relationships online. It's why I've made the decision that it just won't be something that I share a lot of, is because obviously you're going to have disagreements at some point in relationships, and obviously we haven't yet, but it's still very early days, and people, it feels like if you are sharing the good, you also need to share the bad. But it's an incredibly strange and odd concept to me that you would ever share like the intimate ins and outs of like the downs of a relationship, at least whilst you are in it. It's a weird concept to me. Like why would someone come online and be like, oh, I just had a raging argument with my partner? Like no one's gonna do that. But yeah, you would be more likely to post like, oh my god, like we're engaged, or you're going to post all the milestones. We've got a dog, we bought a house together. You're going to post that stuff because that's just what people do nowadays. But you're not, it's unrealistic to expect anyone would come online and share the downs. But I just felt like I just couldn't live like authentically, and I just wanted to be happy and like truly happy, and I hadn't been truly happy for a very long time. And honestly, when I was on my own, I was living life, peaceful, zen, chill, low anxiety, no like arguments, no drama, no conflict, just focusing on myself. And then Twinkle Toes came along, and at first, like I said, I tried to resist it, but then I was like, do you know what, this feels right, I feel happy, I don't give a fuck what this looks like to anyone else. Like I actually don't give a shit. I owe it to myself after never really experiencing like something like so pure and genuine. Why am I going to deny myself of that just because someone might think, oh, that's a bit quick, or society might think, oh, well, if you've moved on that quick, it means you're not healed, it means you're not this, it means you're not that. Like, that's bullshit. It's not true. It might be true in some cases, but it's not true. I think a lot of the messaging that we give ourselves around relationships is more self-preserving than it is truthful. For example, and this is nothing to do with any of my situations, but people say once a cheat, always a cheat. I don't think that's true. I think it's a self-preserving thing to tell yourself, because if you've been cheated on, obviously you're going to be very upset about it. And for some people, yes, once a cheat, always a cheat, but it's not true for everyone. It's not as comfortable as the truth of it, which is sometimes someone will cheat on someone and then the next partner they might be with for life and they might never cheat on them, they might never disrespect them. That's not a nice thought to have, especially if you've just been cheated on. So I understand why they say once a cheat, always a cheat. I understand why it might be hurtful if someone has moved on too quick or much faster than someone else has, and then people want to say, well, they've moved on that quick, it means that they must not have healed, they must not have done that. I don't think that's true, and I used to believe that. Like I just said, I've told myself that story a million times before, but now that I've got those shoes on my feet, I know that it's not true. Like, I'm just genuinely happy. I've always struggled with my self-esteem and my self-confidence, and I feel like that's the root of how and why I end up in quite a few of the situations that I've ended up in life. But I've done a lot of work on that, and I now recognise that, like, I am, and you are as well. If you're watching this and you're in a shit relationship and you're unhappy, or you've just come out of one and you've met this new person and, you know, you really want to go for it but you feel like you don't deserve it, you absolutely fucking do. Like, you deserve to be treated like a princess. You deserve to be treated with care, consideration, kindness, gentleness, with everything, and you are deserving of it. Don't rob yourself of a healthy, pure, genuine relationship in life just because it feels foreign to you, or because it feels not as, whoa, like, this is so exciting because I'm so up and down all the time. Don't rob yourself of a pure and genuine relationship because you don't think you deserve it, because, baby girl, you absolutely do. So that's my life update. I have a boyfriend, we have a new man on the scene, and that's all I think I'll be saying on it. He might make the odd appearance in a vlog or two, but I think for now I just want to enjoy it. And like I said in the vlog earlier this week, like, it's very important to me. Like, our relationship is very important to me. It's very pure. It's very, I don't want to say sacred because it sounds icky, but like, it's very like sacred and important to me. So I don't want to like blast it online. Like, I want to protect it and like nurture it, and that's the most important thing to me. Not, oh, couples content does well, so we'll do all this like couples content. Like, he might make the odd appearance on my Instagram or in like a silly little TikTok or in the odd vlog, but I'm not going down like that route. It's not something I've ever had an interest in. That's all we need to know is I have a boyfriend. I'm very happy. I have healed and moved on. This isn't some kind of like, well, I'm hoping it's not like a crash and burn situation. And it's been heartwarming because when I started sharing that I am in a new relationship, I got so many messages from people that are like, this has given me so much hope because I broke up with my partner at a similar time to what you did. Or like, no, or like off the back of me sharing about this new relationship, just people saying I'm so happy for you, because honestly, like, your content and stories and posts and stuff about breakups and stuff earlier this year helped me realise I was in the wrong relationship and I left, and I'm so much happier now, even if they don't have a new partner. And that's what it's about, and that's why we'll always have these little rambles and chats, and that's why I will always share elements of my life, because it is helpful to people. It might not be helpful to some. I don't think my relationship itself is important because I'm not Beyonce, I'm not Taylor Swift. It's not that interesting, but I do think the lessons can be useful. I'm only 25, I'm very young, I'm still learning. But yeah, that's my little life update. So with that being said, I trained pull with him this morning, so I'm going to put those clips in now. We did his session, so I will voice over it and explain what we were doing. But yeah, we did back and biceps, and I'm going to eat my yogurt bowl, so enjoy the workout. And you're welcome. I got him to film this for me so that he could get like the most helpful angles. You guys have been asking for an upper body workout in a vlog for the longest time, and because I've not been hitting upper body, I've obviously not been doing it, but hopefully the vlog is like well-rounded. We've got cardio, we've got glutes, and we've got upper body. So yeah, enjoy. So this is the pull session that we did. and it's very different to how I would usually train because it was very, I felt like a proper gym bro. We did these lat pull downs with a cable rope first, but pretty much on every single movement we only did 2 sets. We did a back off set, so like a lighter weight with higher reps, and then a top set, so like a heavier weight with lower reps. And I've honestly, like, I've done top sets and back off sets before, but I've never trained in the way that we trained this day. And also this was an intense, like, if you want an intense back day, this is honestly, it's a good option because it was pretty intense, and it's Saturday today when I'm recording these voice notes. My back is sore. Then moving on, we ended up doing some T-bar rows, which I used to love doing, and I've not done them in so long. I've never done them with this attachment, so quite a lot of the movements that we did on this pull day were actually a lot more wide grip, which I feel like is a typical Twinkle Toes way of doing back, because it's very much about like the width and the lats, which I'm personally more of a narrow grip girly. I do some wide grip stuff, but the majority of my back stuff I will always, and you'll see if you go and watch any of my upper body workouts, especially pull ones, very focused on narrow grip. But this was his session, this was his world, and I was just living in it for the day. So then we did some seated single arm lat pull downs. I've done these before, but never actually done them on a seat like this, and I actually much preferred it. And to be honest, doing this made me realise I don't hate training back, so I think I might put like a pull session in once a week for myself, because I'll be honest, I've not really been training upper body properly for months now because I just don't enjoy it as much. But I did find not this whole session enjoyable. I think it was a little bit much in terms of the amount of back stuff, but it was much more enjoyable than other back sessions that I've tried to do before and obviously failed at keeping consistent with. So I'm definitely going to put this movement in rotation, but yeah, just making sure, he kept telling me to make sure that my shoulder wasn't coming up too much, and then really pulling down towards like my hip, like the outer part of my hip basically, to make sure that I'm hitting my lats properly. Then we did a not super wide grip rowing movement. This is actually this is probably the narrowest grip movement that we did in the entire session. So yeah, with this you will see I'm not like duck arsing. You don't need to sit on all the equipment in the gym and like put like this excessive curve through your spine. Like, I promise you will be fine if you just sit with a straighter, more neutral spine. But yeah, again, just really slow and controlled, making sure I'm fully stretching out and then squeezing all the way in when I am rowing back. And then here is me just trying to blow my bangs out of the way. I told you guys they're a little frustrating. And then we did some lat raises, which again I don't usually do loads of, but it was his world and we were just living in it. So we did some lat raises, and again we did I think we did back off sets and top sets for these as well, and then we did some bicep work afterwards. But just being completely real and honest, I don't think any of the clips are that great for that, so I'm not including it. But we did some hammer curls and some cable curls as well, and that was it. That was our pull day, sponsored by Twinkle Toes, yours truly. Hey guys, I said I would show you my advent calendars. My Alpha Elite one still hasn't come, and it's not going to come until next week, which is really not ideal, because by the time it comes, because I'm away this weekend and I don't get back till Tuesday, we will be about 8 days into the 12 days of Christmas campaign. So it's not the finest thing to ever have happened, but it's what it is. I hope everyone else has enjoyed doing 12 days of Alpha Elite Advent, because I have not been able to participate. However, what I have been able to participate in is my mum very kindly every year, not every year, but the past few years, she started getting us like a really like fancy advent calendar, and this year she outdid herself. She did Harrods Beauty, which I've never had before, and like, look how insane this advent calendar is. Like, look, whoa, it's very like well put together, and then there's these like little drawers, but it's such like, what makes me sad about these is I do think the packaging is always stunning, and it's just like, what do I do with this afterwards? Does anyone have any ideas as to what I could do with this? Because I just think it's so beautiful. Like, what could I do with it? I want to do something with it, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna show you what I've got in it so far so that you guys can see everything that we have received. So in day one, I got the Valmont for Harrods Prime Renewing Pack. This is what I got in day one. Now, I'd never heard of this brand before, but I googled it, and holy crapperoonies. Shit's expensive, son. Like, this is so expensive, but it's really, really, really good apparently, so I'm excited to try that. I've not tried it yet. I will say I'm apprehensive about the skincare stuff that's in here, just because I've been breaking out. Like, my chin area has just been so weird recently, and my skin in general. I don't usually get spots, but I've had quite, like, for me, like for my skin, quite bad breakouts recently, and I can't help but feel like it was something to do with like the, you know, 500 toners that I was putting on that I'd seen on TikTok. And don't get me wrong, like my skin looked amazing, but I don't think my skin can hack that much shit being put on it. So if you've recently decided to do this whole like a million step skincare routine and you've all of a sudden started breaking out, maybe strip it back, because since I started stripping it back it's calmed down a lot, and at the moment I'm pretty much religiously just using the Inkylist Salicylic Acid Cleanser, the Tatcha, I'm using the water one at the moment, so the Tatcha water moisturizer, my Medicate retinol on an evening, an SPF 50, and that's pretty much it. That's all I'm using on my skin at the moment. Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait a bit until I start using this, or just like use one thing at a time so that I can work out if something is giving me spots. I can work out what it is straight away and I don't have to like waste time, if that makes sense. Then I got this Seymour Commune body wash, which smells like really like essential oily. It smells really good. So that was day 2. Day 3 was the Clarins Super Restorative Day Cream SPF 15, which I'm excited to use because I've heard really good things about Clarins skincare, but I've never actually tried anything from there. In day 4, I got, now this is going to shock people because I've never used this before, and I feel like people would assume that I have, but it's the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I've actually dead-ass never used this before in my life. Never used it before, and I feel like people have moved on from it now and like this powder's better, that powder's better, but honestly I feel like if a product is good, product is good. Like I have the Huda powder, but I also have my RCMA powder, which I've been using since I was like 14, and I still love it. Like I used it today. If it's good, it's good. Like I might have a new fave product, but I'm still going to use the previous ones, you know what I mean? Then on day 5, so yesterday I got the 111 Skin Rose Gold mask, which I'm super excited to try. I got some kind of 111 face mask, I can't remember if it was face or eye, in last year's calendar, and it was really good, so I'm excited to try that. And then today I got a cleanser, and this is such nice packaging. Like how stunning is the packaging on this? So this, oh yeah, because I actually sprayed some of this out, that's my fault. I squirted some out this morning, but it's the Decree Light Cleanse Cleanser by Dr. AJ Sternum. I think this will probably be one of the first skincare things from the box that I use, just because it feels, cleansers don't tend to break me out other than when I tried oil cleansing. You know, when I gave my skincare routine maybe like a couple months ago, and I was like, everyone says that this has broken them out, but like I've been fine so far. Yeah, fast forward a few weeks, I had like all these spots on my nose. Like it was just so weird. Like it was giving me spots in places I've never had spots before. It was honestly a wild time. But yeah, I'm kind of sad because in this vlog I wanted to open some of my Alphalete advent calendar with you guys, because obviously I wouldn't have an Alphalete advent calendar if it wasn't for you guys. But I feel like every day I've said my advent calendar's coming today, and I've checked the tracking and it doesn't even say out for delivery, and it's like 2 PM, so I don't think it's coming today. I think it's fair to say, girly pop, you are not getting that calendar. So I do apologise about that, because I feel like this vlog has been a lot of me being like, oh, my Alphalete calendar is going to come today and I'm going to show you, and then just not being able to show you. But it is what it is. Like I'm really trying not to stress about it, because this launch was quite like last minute. It's quite, I don't know, like I don't want it to, I'm trying not to stress about it basically. I have other things to be stressing about, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not that like the Alphalete stuff is overexerting myself like it's the easiest job in the world, but I want to make sure that, because when things get sprung on us quite last minute, it's very easy to like give up everything else, and that's what I've done for 5 years. But it does impact like my coaching and just my life in general. It does have an impact on it, so I'm trying to be more mindful of that, and also it's December. It's like my busiest month socially. I have so much to do in terms of like Christmas shopping for my entire family, and now my boyfriend as well. I have a trip which honestly, like, I probably wouldn't have booked the trip if I knew that they were doing this, or I'd have booked it for when the 12 days is finished, but I didn't know this was going to happen. I just assumed these dates would be fine because I was like, oh, there's no way they'll do a launch that close to Black Friday. Psych, motherfucker. I think we need to come to a close off in rounding off this vlog, but I need to shower because I need to redo my tan. Platinum Loving Tan, that's the tan that I use. So I'll show you my new favourite, one of my new favourite body moisturisers. Let's go downstairs. Like, I really need to show you this moisturiser, guys. It's a Naturium one, so I'm going to show you. I feel like that actually kind of does work. So I'm going to show you a side by side of what I mean here. So this is my favourite still in terms of scent. Nothing beats this, and I don't get compliments on my other bodies like I do when I wear this one. Like, I've gone in the gym just with this on before and people have been like, oh my god, like, what is that? Like, you always smell amazing. Like, that's what sparked this whole, like, I already loved it, but then when that happened I was like, that's kind of crazy because it's literally just a body lotion. So yeah, I absolutely love this. But this up, which is the Naturium multi-oil body butter, the Glow Getter one. This is like phenomenal shit. Like, phenomenal shit. I've also got this Sol de Janeiro one which I bought in London. I just don't think these are moisturising at all. Like, I just don't. The Sol moisturisers are rubbish in my opinion. Maybe I've just got really dry skin because they don't work for me. Hi, I'm literally on the floor right now. I'm just unzipping my hoodie so that I can put, this is a bit of a waste because I'm about to get in the shower and take my tan off, but I want to show you just how well this works. So this is what the consistency is like. It's not super thick, but it's not runny either. I would say it's like it feels like a whipped body butter, but look at this. Like, my skin is incredibly dry right now because my tan basically needs to come off. Like, it really needs to come off, and I feel like when my tan is hanging on by its arse, that's when my skin starts looking quite crusty, to be brutally honest. But did you see how my skin looked before compared to now? And I know that people say you get that with any body lotion. You don't. This is honestly phenomenal. Like, look at the glow. You cannot tell me that every single body lotion makes you glow like this, because it absolutely does not. And I feel like you can tell even if you go back like 30 seconds and look at how my skin looked before compared to now. It's got this like glow to it. Like, how stunning is that? And it's because of this. So I would highly recommend. In terms of scent, you know when something's unscented but it still smells of something? That's how it smells. It's not the nicest smell in the world, but it's also not super strong, so it's not like you're walking around smelling like the unscented scent. You know exactly what I mean if you use any like body lotion. But now it's been like 5 minutes and I feel like you can still tell it's drying in and it's not as glowy, but I've still got that glow to my skin. It's the nicest moisturiser ever. And if you want a moisturiser that's going to double up and give you a body glow at the same time, there's no shimmer in it, it's just how moisturising it is. This is the one that you need. It's unreal. Okay, I think I'm going to round off this vlog here because, like I've mentioned, I'm going to Vienna on Sunday, and that means tomorrow I need to pack. I need to pre-sort out some Alphalete stuff for the stuff that's going to be dropping whilst I'm away. So I need to finish this vlog so that I can edit it, so that I can post it, so that you guys are going to have a video for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. I've really tried to include some more training, so let me know feedback wise. Is it better when there's more training? Do you prefer less training? What do you like seeing in these videos? Because I'm still trying to work it out. Amazing Sunday. If anyone's got any questions on the Alphalete pieces, please comment them below. If you want the full review, let me know and I will do it. I just don't want to be too like Alphalete, especially when we've just had Black Friday, so let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. I will be in Vienna when this goes up with Twinkle Toes, so hopefully we'll have a lovely time. I'm sure we will, because he's like my, I don't know, like we just like, you know when you meet someone and you just like click, like you just get on. That was basically us. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.